Hi, I'm Manny Fitzsimmons. I'm your Washington Realtors Legal Hotline lawyer. Today's question comes out of our legal hotline mailbag. The question is, buyer made an offer in a multiple offer scenario and the final purchase price was increased significantly above the asking price. After mutual acceptance and prior to changing the property status to pending, the listing agent called and asked the buyer's agent if it would be okay with them if the listing agent increased the original asking price to be closer to the pending price in an attempt to minimize an appraisal gap. This would be done prior to changing the status to pending, so if the appraiser did not do thorough review, they may see that the property did not escalate that high above asking price. Is it legal to manipulate the price prior to changing status? Is this ethical? How should we be handling scenarios like this? The answer is no, it's not legal. It's loan fraud. Listing broker is attempting to alter reality. The reality is the property was listed and marketed at one price, and because of a competitive market, the ultimate purchase price agreed by the buyer is significantly higher than the market price. That's the reality. Listing broker, if you are going to go into the MLS and manipulate the listing price to make it appear to buyers, lenders, appraiser that the list price was here when it was really here, then you are engaged in loan fraud. You are attempting to manipulate the appearance of reality so that buyer's lender and buyer's lender's appraiser perceives a different reality than actually exists. That's loan fraud. Sometimes when I'm asked this question, I get a little pushback from the listing broker saying, but seller could have altered the price at any time prior to buyer coming along. Sellers can always change the list price of property. True, seller could have changed the list price prior to buyer coming along, and then the buyer would or would not have been attracted to this property based on the list price that seller offered. But the reality is, seller is not changing the list price as part of their marketing efforts. Seller and really listing broker are changing the list price not as part of their marketing efforts, but in an effort to trick buyers, lenders, appraiser. Listing brokers, you could be creating a problem for your seller if you do this. You are certainly creating a problem for yourself. Every broker is held to an agency law duty of honesty and good faith. What part of honesty and good faith is involved in manipulating the listing data to create a false impression on buyers, lenders, appraiser? Imagine that this appraiser simply picked up the phone and called listing broker and asked the question, hey, what was the listing price when buyer made their offer? Listing brokers, could you at that point lie and say that it was whatever price you had increased the list price to after mutual acceptance? I hope that you would say the answer to that question is no. I would never lie orally if asked that question. Then why would you create the lie in the MLS data by changing the list price after mutual acceptance? Just don't do it. If you have questions on this topic or any other, send an email to me, legalhotline@warealtor.org. Thank you for being a Washington Realtors member.